Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Work Your Package Wednesday. I am Ayanna Castro. I'm the founder and chief maven of Work Your Package. And I'm not going to be before you long. I say that every Wednesday, right? Anywho and anyway, I want to talk about it begins with you. And the U stands for yielding, open, and understanding. So there are sometimes where we get ourselves in situations where we're not quite sure how we got here, when did we get here, all the things, right? Like you walk around like, how the hell did I get in this place right here? And then sometimes conflict comes up and you don't want to necessarily talk about it. You don't want to confront it. It could be a situation where you're confused and you're not quite sure what it is that you're supposed to do, but you don't want to ask for guidance. So you just kind of let it sit, and it then begins to fester to the point where now the project has gone over time, over budget, you're out of resources, and you haven't taken that next step to find out what's going on. Or it could be your finances. You know your finances ain't where they're supposed to be, but instead of getting help, you continually do the same thing you've been doing. Like you keep talking about, oh, you want to invest, you want to buy a house, you want to invest in real estate, but you haven't taken the next step to go ahead and find out the information that you need. Well, the barrier and all that is you. Why? The why is yielding. Just stop for a minute. Stop for a minute and try to understand why you're not asking for help, why you're not having the conversation, why you don't want to make the decision. Because not making a decision is a decision. Oh, I'm so indecisive. No, you made your decision. The minute you don't want to make it, that's your decision, right? So yield. Stop for a second. Try to figure out why you are not making the next step. And O is open. Be open to listening. So once you ask the question, once you get direction, once you have the difficult conversation, the challenging conversation, the courageous conversation, whatever word we want to use in the professional space these days, once you have that conversation, be open to what the person is saying. Be open. Listen. We're some smart people. And I know the people that hop on and listen to me and share the videos, y'all some real smart people. I got doctors in my ranks. Like I know some pretty smart people. But sometimes we can be awfully stupid when it comes to being open to listening to somebody else's point of view or their perspective. So sometimes we need to be open. And then the U is understanding. Understand where that person is coming from. Don't take it as an affront as, oh, well, they just think they know, but they're better than me, or they just think they know more than me. It's not that they know better than you. Sometimes it is they do know more than you, right? Because you wouldn't have asked them the question. Sometimes they just have a different perspective. So I could have said, find a way to check yourself. I could have said that. But really just think about the acronym U. Yield, open, and understand. That's it. That's it. And that's all. That's all I got. That's all I wanted to come in here and talk about today. Because it's Wednesday. And Wednesday is my treat day for breakfast. So I'm here waiting for my breakfast to be done. There's no glare today because it's an overcast. But listen, back to the subject at hand. I want people to understand that when you take time to yield and be open and understand, it opens the pathway for those conversations that make the most impact, right? You don't want to be in a situation where you have had these round the barn conversations. You don't went all the way down to Jerusalem and behind Zion's back to have a conversation and nothing was discussed. Nothing was resolved. Everybody is still walking away with their feelings still hurt. That's not the way to communicate with people. That's not the way to connect with people. It's certainly not the way to lead people. So those of you who are managers, because some of you are challenged in this area of having a courageous conversation come to you. So if it's you, if you're the person that this person is using this U acronym on, understand that they had to pause for a minute before they had this conversation with you. They're willing, to quote my good girlfriend Gigi, they were willing to be vulnerable with you, and they're hoping that it is They're allowed to have safe vulnerability with you, and they have psychological safety with you. Don't abuse that power by not allowing them to be open with you and for you to have an understanding for where they're coming from. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. I encourage you to live and not just exist, because existing is some foolishness. It really is. Existing will have you thinking that all these conversations have to be hard, and that all of these tasks have to be so difficult, and that you're under so much pressure to figure everything out. And it's really not true. Living will allow you to have and actively use that U acronym. Actively use it to help you move forward, to help you do better, to help you see things from a different perspective. Get yourself around some people who will allow you and encourage you and give you that psychologically safe space to practice this on a regular basis. You don't have to rush into decisions. That's why you can yield. You don't have to be closed-minded on what other people think. That's why you need to be open. And sometimes you do have to check yourself to really understand. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. All right. That's it. That's all. I love y'all. If you like the video, go ahead and share it. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.